moment of silent prayer or meditation. I now call on the House to sing the national anthem. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome the Chairperson of Committees, Honorable M. Mankanye, and ask him to declare the Westernerian Banquet Hall the precinct of the Gauteng Legislature.
I, Mpapa Kanyani, as a Deputy Chairperson of Committees, hereby declares West Noria Banquet Sports Complex at the West Rand District as a precinct of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature in terms of Rule 59 of the Standing Rules of the Gauteng Legislature, version 5, Revision 1, read together with Section 2.1 and Section 28 of the Powers, Privileges, and Immunities of Parliament and Provincial Legislatures, Act Number 4 of 2004. Now, the Precinct of Parliament, Provincial Legislature are described as follows. The Precinct of Parliament is the area of land and every building or part of a building under Parliament's control, including 1, the chambers in which the proceedings of the houses are conducted, and the galleries and lobbies of the chambers. 2, every part of a building in which the chambers are situated, and every forecourt, yard, garden, enclosure, or open space, apartment thereto, a committee rooms, and other meeting places provided or used primarily for Parliament purposes, and every other building or part of a building provided or used in connection with the proceedings of Parliament while so used. Now, for the purpose or the duration of this meeting, This place will be the precinct of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature. That the standing rules of the legislature will apply and govern all our engagement of the day, and I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mr. M. Nkanyane, for declaration of the precinct. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome the Speaker of West Rand District Council, Councillor Mr. Kruger, and ask him to give the welcome address to the House.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Morabe, thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
Members of the Executive Committee, the Deputy Chairperson of the committees as well, members of the Gauteng Provincial Legislature, Executive Mayors, Speakers and Whips from local municipalities, if they are here today, Aldermen and Councillors who are here, community members, staff members who are rendering the support for today's event, all protocol observed. I greet you all. Good morning. Dumelang, goeiemorgen, Sanibunani. I've practiced that. Ma'am, when I received the invite from the Office of the Speaker, I was thinking, what now? I was a bit worried, let me put it to you. I was a bit shaking, you know, what must I say to all the women? But the following question came to my mind. If I could change one thing, what would it be? And I'm also going to ask a question to all of you today. If you can change one thing, what would it be? August is a month dedicated to women because they fight hard and continue to fight hard for women's rights. National Women's Day commemorates the 1956 march to the Union buildings. Since then, women have been a force to be reckoned with. The historic march was long ago, yet its demands are still relevant. Time might have changed, but challenges undermining the potential of women in this country are still persistent. These challenges include unemployment, poverty, inequality, and gender-based violence. South Africa's statistics confirm that on average, 3 women are murdered daily by the intimate partner, and this is unacceptable. Men need to respect the lives of women who are their mothers, wives, and daughters. There are also inequalities noted in our workplace, and it is important to call on companies to offer equal pay and a seat at the executive table for women in the workplace. It is therefore fitting to celebrate women not only in August, but every day of the year and all over. Speaker, but also everything is not only negative. We are also proud of the Banyana who win the Champions of Africa football. We are also proud of the fact that 2 of the players, namely Linda Mutwala and Tembi Katlagane, are here from the local municipality, Randwest City Local Municipality. Are you aware of that? They are local people from our area. Today we celebrate women and the incredible work they do in their homes for their children, husbands and partners, and in the workplace. A life without a woman will be difficult for everyone. To come back to my question, if I could change one thing, what will it be? I would stop women and child abuse in the country immediately. Ladies, it is my humble request that as you debate here today, three very important issues. How can we overcome the problems that are hanging over our mothers, sisters, and daughters? I truly hope you find solutions for all the problems that are undermining our women. Honourable Chair of the session, ladies and gentlemen, you are all welcome here in the West Rand today, and I all wish you the best for today and the future, and please make a difference. I would also like to salute all the women and to say today, Amandla. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Councillor Kruger, for the warm welcome, sir. I would now like to welcome the representative of the Electoral Commission, IEC, Ms. Ntombi Tlhakudi, to address the House on the importance of voting and the partnership with GPL.
Thank you, Speaker, and let me pass my greetings to you and the honorable members of this parliament, and allow me to say all protocol observed. And let me salute all beautiful women who are gathered here today. My name is Ntombi Tlhakudi. I'm the Regional Outreach Officer in the West Rand, and I'm representing the Independent Electoral Commission. I believe by now we know what is the Electoral Commission. However, let me reiterate what is our duty as the Independent Electoral Commission. Let me start by saying the Independent Electoral Commission was established by the Chapter 9 of the Constitution of South Africa, and our work is to ensure that we uphold the democracy, which is electoral democracy of this country. And also, let me talk to the values that we uphold. We are impartial at all times when we execute our duties, and we ensure that we become responsive when it comes to the issues of the electoral matters. Wherever there are issues pertaining to electoral matters, we always come in to respond to them and give guidance. And as we are gathered here today, this is the important month, which is the Women's Month, and during this period, South Africa comes together to commemorate and celebrate the strength and the resilience of women and their contribution to society and the country. And it is well said that we will never know where we are going if we're not taking lessons from where we come from. So it is always important that we reflect to where we come from, so that we know the roads that leads us to the next destination. And we are in the land between lands, not where we come from, but not where we are going. And this is also true as it is pertained to the gender issues in our country. We are not yet where we are supposed to be, but we are slowly and surely getting there. I believe we know the issue of 50-50%, 50-50. So, as the country, even when we look into our statistics, we are not yet there. So, however, there's an improvement from where we come from 1994. And also, Speaker, allow me to acknowledge the role that the women of 1956 played. That was 66 years ago. These women brought change in this country. These women were not armed at all. They just wore their natural poise of dignity and power that comes with being who we are, women. So it means that there's no need to be violent when we need to see changes in our country. Again, we've got power, bomme. Again, and the speaker said a life without a woman will be difficult. Again, so it means we are the ones who need to uplift ourselves. Okay. So allow me to dwell into the statistics that we have as we looked into the voter participation. Like last year we had our local government elections, whereby I want to believe we all participated. If not, we need to ask ourselves, what were the issues that made us not to participate? Actually, today I'm reminding you of the women of 1956 who made a difference in our country. So when I look at our statistics, in terms of Gauteng, I'm going to delve into Gauteng because we are in Gauteng province. In terms of Gauteng, registered voters by gender, 47.66% are males, and 52.34% are females. So it means we form a large number of registered voters as women of this country. Okay, so in Gauteng we are at 52%, but in a country, then the common national voters roll, women account for 55%. And when we also look at the statistics in terms of the electoral staff, the staff that we employ at the voting station during the elections, as the IEC, we fare very well because our stat says we have 28% of males who are employed and 72% is females. So we are doing well as the IEC. And nationally, when we look at the voter participation, remember I just gave you the percentages of female voters or registered voters. But when we look nationally, in terms of voter participation, females who went to vote last year, 1st of November, including the special votes, 58% of women voted. So this means we are doing our bit. But as I said, there are worrisome issues as I go down with my presentation. When I look at the gender breakdown in terms of candidates, remember when there are elections, there are candidates that contest the elections. So you will find females and you will find males who are contesting the elections. In Gauteng, we had 15,673 candidates, of which 9,972 were males, 5,701 were females. And that is where the problem starts. I think we need to move to the new era, whereby we need to move from patriarchy. Yes, as women we are powerful. So, having said that, when I translate these figures of candidates per gender, it means 64% were male candidates and 36% were females in Gauteng. Can we identify that disparity in terms of the differences? Okay. And as I also move on in terms of gender breakdown, the councillors. Again, this is in the information that we looked into when we debriefed last year. Now, meaning we need to move from here and think about coming 2024, our national and provincial elections. Now, when we look at the breakdown of councillors according to the gender, we have 1,144 councillors. 740 of these councillors are males, and 404 are females. But who votes the most? Who votes the most?
Females.
Women. So it simply says 65% are male councillors and 35% are females. So as females or women of this country, it means we have a job to do. We have a responsibility to participate in our democracy. And because as the IEC, we are being governed by legislation, we don't just do things the way we want. We don't think of these things and we implement them. We looked into the Municipal Structures Act, item 11, Schedule 1, where it says every party must seek to ensure that 50% of candidates on the party list are women, and that women and men are evenly distributed through the list. And this is also supported by Section 9 of our Constitution. Maybe if we've got time, we need to go to Section 9 of the Constitution. It speaks to equality, to say everyone is equal in this country. But how we go there is upon to the women of this country. And moving on, when we go to international, I agree every time we compare with our international counterparts. So when we move into international legislative framework, we look for the issues of international covenant, civil and political rights. There's an agenda for sustainable development, which says by 2030, equal opportunities at all levels of decision-making in political, economic, and public life should be achieved. Meaning, this agenda says by 2030 we should all be equal, that 50-50%. I hope that the Treaty of Beijing, so this also translates to it. And as I'm about to conclude, it was said I must speak to the importance of voting, but I could not dwell into voting before highlighting these issues. So as I conclude my presentation, what I want to impart to you, and you match it with the importance of voting, because I said we are voting. We are voting in masses as women. But the problem is there's a disjuncture between males and females when we go into those elections. So as women, we are the ones who can uplift one another. Okay? The pull head down syndrome needs to end as women. We must uplift one another as women of this country. And as we heed the call for 2024, let us take these issues into consideration to say, as women of this country, with merit, of course, we don't just uplift one another without merits. Okay, the issues of capacity comes in also, but we definitely need to move to the agenda of 2030, which says equality for everyone. So, why you need to participate in the decision-making platforms? We need more meaningful engagement on strengthening women's presentation and participation. So as women, we need to talk about these things, and we need to be brutal about them. We need to move from being known as the patriarchal society, whereby men hold power more than women. And it is women who can advocate for the needs of other women. So as we go out there and vote, let us remember that it's only women who can advocate for issues that pertains to women, because women are the ones who understand the challenges that each and every woman who sits here today goes through. Therefore, we do not need numbers only. As I've said, the issues of merit, the issues of capacity comes in. We don't just need 50 females representing us, be it in parliament or council sittings, but we need women who will have voices, who will discuss issues that will take this country forward. A better representation will ensure that women's voices are heard and their issues are fairly recognized. Women rocks the elections. And to the GPL, let me thank the GPL for this opportunity of partnering with us, because these are the platforms that ensures that we reach the communities out there. And everything that we share with you, we believe that we will cascade it to others who did not have the opportunity to come here and be with us. And in parting shots, as the Electoral Commission, we have what we call continuous registration. So we don't only register during the election period. Anyone who is the age of 16 years, the South African citizen, has the ID document, they can register with the IEC, and nowadays it's easy, you go online. Like we are moving to 4IR. The young people who are not yet registered, and who don't want to come to our offices, they can do that in the comfort of their homes by visiting our website, www.iec.org.za, then they can register themselves. And let me thank you, Honorable Speaker, and the House at large. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Anne Tlakudi, for the address, ma'am. I would now like to welcome Honorable Nomvuyo Mhlagaza Manamela, the Acting Speaker of the Gauteng Legislature, to address the House on the purpose and the significance of this event. Apologies for the error there. It's Honorable Papa Kanyani.
Thank you very much once more. Let me take up this opportunity to, on behalf of the Deputy Speaker, May Manamela, I'm going to read what she has written, what she was supposed to make sure that the message is sent across. I must apologize on her behalf because she had other pressing commitment. Again, with the Speaker, who is now overseas, she's in Canada, she couldn't really make it to be with us today. And I must really also acknowledge in absentia our chair of committees, who's also in another commitment. I must tell you, this month of August is a month of activities. And we need really to commend that, because all these activities I'm talking about, it's about women. As the GPL, the Gauteng Provincial Legislature, we've organized a number of activities for this month. Just only for today, I know at 1 o'clock, the GPL, Women at the Legislature, will be massaged somewhere. We are putting them somewhere. You know, that's for this, just for today. And again, the MEC, Mema Sibuko, is attending another meeting, but she's on her way because she has to address us. Now, again, when she leaves here, there is also an activity in the evening with the Premier, also about women. So you can see that we are all over, because this month, we don't want really to miss it. It's a month for women, but again, it should not be an exercise in futility. We want to make sure that it becomes meaningful. Meaning whatever we are saying today, all this month, it must never be regarded maybe as ideological. Let's make sure that we embrace this and we internalize this and we make sure that we practicalize this. It is important that we really move in that particular direction. But now, what the Deputy Speaker would have said, I'll just say, it is indeed a great pleasure and an honor to present the purpose of Women's Sector Parliament under the theme, Gauteng Legislature, following up on our commitment to the people of Gauteng. Our theme is Women in Action. So the 2022 Women's Sector Parliament should also play its part in recognizing and emulating the values and principles of the struggle. You have heard about our veteran, Marita Nzananga, who passed on this week. So we are also dedicating this to her, born 88 years ago in Mogopa village near Ventersdorp, Ma Nzananga was a human, self-effacing person. The love for humanity and commitment to the opposition for all that is unjust, and which also led her to join politics and labor activism. And based on all these activities, she was arrested, she was harassed, and she was also faced banishment. So we want all of us to emulate this icon, May Rita. Now, the Women's Sector Parliament should draw lessons and from the dawn of democracy. South Africa has made significant strides in ensuring that its citizens enjoy human rights as enshrined in our constitution. And as an organ of the state, Gauteng Provincial Legislature has implemented various social outreach programs that educate the people of Gauteng. And we need really to embrace that. Again, in terms of the purpose, the main purpose of the Women's Parliament is to empower women to participate in platform, to raise their concerns, and to fully understand that they are the masters of their own destiny. And for them to attain this, they need proper support from government, which goes with understanding what the rights are all about. It also gives the women a chance to network and learn from others who have been out there working tirelessly for their communities. Now, the objectives of this sector parliament is to encourage the women to partner with GPL in decision-making and legislative processes, to fulfill the constitutional mandate of meaningful public participation, to take parliaments to women of Gauteng, to profile the GPL's mandates and ensure that programs promote cooperative governance, to strengthen relations between the GPL and women of the province, to strengthen cooperation of the legislative authority, executive authority, and then also to educate women in the provision of the Constitution. So it is our belief that we'll never win the struggle for women's emancipation alone as government. We will accordingly strengthen our working relations with other women's formations, like the Progressive Women's Movement, the NGOs, the CBOs, including the churches, and then also at workplaces. But now, in conclusion, South Africa has undoubtedly made great strides in increasing the number of women in parliament and in government. However, women in numbers only are not enough. The mere presence of women in political structures will not necessarily translate into women's concerns being addressed or a better quality of life for women. It is therefore follows that whether you are a woman or we are involved in community development, you must be confident in your demand to be treated with dignity and respect. Lastly, I hope that the Gauteng Provincial Women's Sector Parliament 2022 will go a long way in responding to a call in recognition of women's rights to equality and recognizes the contribution of women in the struggle for liberation and development in the current conjuncture. And on that note, I would like to appeal to all of us. Let's know who we are. That's where we should really start. Once you know who we are, obviously you'll know what you deserve. Don't rub shoulders. Whatever you do, it must really represent who you are. Make sure that you don't squat closer to your character. Be yourself. I want to emphasize it, that all these debates, it's more on empowerment. All these debates is to find your space, who you are. And when you get out of here, let's get out as changed persons. Now, I wanted to wish you a success in your deliberations, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Mkanyane, for the address, sir. Okay, I would like to welcome MEC of Community Safety, Honorable Faith Mazibuko, and request her to address the House. Just give it. All right. All right, I would now like to explain to the chairpersons of various commissions how we will be dealing with the commission's report. I believe that during the discussions of commissions in the workshops, each commission agreed on resolutions that will be presented and tabled in this House today. I will ask the person designated to present the resolution of the commission and hand them over to the service officers after the debate, who will then hand them over to the procedural table in front of me. At the end of all debates, I will hand over all the commission's resolutions to the chairperson of the committee of the legislature so that they can be tabled at their meeting and forwarded to the executive for action. Will the secretary please read the first order?
Debate on a role of women in improving access and transformation of the healthcare in Gauteng.
I now call on Honorable Mantadi Ditupe, the chairperson of this commission, to present their commission's report.
Malibongwe. Igama lamakosikazi. Good morning, honorable member, guests, councillors, and officials of various departments, unless I will have left out fellow South African who may be joining us from different departments this morning to formally welcome you in this debate. We are convened today to discuss the role of women in transformation of health service in South Africa. It is no doubt that access to health care for all is constitutional and shrinking. However, there is still considerable inequality due to the legacy of our discriminatory history. It is worth nothing that most of the public health resources are utilized in urban areas, but a large percentage of women are based in rural areas. I hope you will non talk show about our minister complaining about people from other countries coming here. It also implies on provinces as well. You know, when we were doing census, last time we were doing census, and then we were counting people, and then we were using a de facto. De facto means we counting people mobile kanako eo. ki u counter o le ko Limpopo ko Tzaneen, and then after a month wa change wa tla o tla ka mo Gauteng. By then your budget is tswile ko Limpopo, wena o so le ka mo Alexander, budget ya Alexander ya o cover no. Ki yona it's similar to me wa rona mme Poppy ana bua ka yona, but that one akere na bua because of countries hore budget ya gago e teng ha e hore ha iyo ka heno, but o decide ho tla ka mo o tlo fokoletsa batho ba rona budget ya bona. South African government has made a tremendous effort in ensuring that high quality healthcare provision is realized. This was done through making sure that there is enhancement in government and leadership for quality and equity. The government has also invested in a transformed human resource in supporting to a high quality health system. This includes making sure that critical positions in many institutes of health are occupied by women. Bomme, le bontate ba tswa montse ba bua ba re mme o tshwara thipa ka mo bohaleng. Bona le batle jwang wa ile sa e tshware thipa ka mo bohaleng. This worked hand in hand with the monitoring and evaluation system that were put in place. In effort to achieve quality health care, the government adopted a strategy that is used as a yardstick in the effort of working together, getting it right as stipulated by the Bill of Rights. The focus mainly is on women, young and old. The Women Health Strategy looked at the transformation of women and girls' health across their lives. The strategy seeks to cover the women holistically, like education of women on smoking during pregnancy. Bomme, kannete we need to be educated so that re kgone ho tseba se se leng right le se se leng wrong. Ha o bona mme a le mmeleng mara a kgona ho tsuba o mmona tshwere kwae. And because raba tshaba ba rof ha o no mo kgalemela re emme a ko be kwae o fetse o deliver ngwana because ngwana o hatla o tlo re tlela le mathata ntse re bana ba tshwenya ba etsa. It's because it thomile e formiwa ke mme ka harampa hae a senya ngwana o. And the education of cancer education as well. Bomme na kwa nngwe rona ra ipolaya rona ka bo rona. Cancer it starts very small. If re na le cancer nnete ka mpeng wa yutlwa ha e starta hore something is not right. But rona re le bomme ra dula ha ke le mme wa catering nne ke mathe ka di shaving dish ke sebetse ke utlwa hore ke a kula ke sa ihlokomele hore nka bo ke nkile ntwe le ka e lahlela kwa and then ka phela bophelo bo botelele ka hodisa bana le ditloholo tsaka. So are ituteng each and every penny we utlwang mo mmeleng ema mme o ye clinicing ba kampa ba re wa kgathatsa ba kampa ba re wa lapisa ke right ya hao o ye mantala boraro le labone o kene ba o cheke. And mental health, education in mental health. Hona le ntho e nngwe e etsahalang matsatsi a ka mental health. Bana ba rona o thole ba ja di-drugs. Ha ba feditse ngwana wa hlanya o ntsa re o monne ke na le case ya teng ko Olivenhout Bosch. Ngwana o jele di-drugs. Ngwana o le ha jele di-drugs o qala a bona ntho tse ngata. Ha ile jwalo especially rona batho ba batho se re madlamini re shebile mme wa ka next door re jemdi o moloile. So re tshwantse re tsebe ntho tse etsahalang maphelong a rona re ithute hore hona le ukula hwa nnete ra o tseba wa bo malume Soli le bo malume Phera back then. So mare bohlanya ba hona jwale ha bo sa tshwana le bohlanya bane ba pele akere. So ke ntho tse tshwantseng re ithute ka tsona hore o mmona ka pele ngwana o jwale hore ona ha hlanye because o loile wa hlanya because hona le ntho tse a fitile mo tsona bo dititifatsi and the likes akere bom. Yes. And education in drug supplies le hore o tsebe dipidisi tsa hao Maobane ho na le mme ana bua ka pidisi tsa hore ba mo file dipidisi tse wrong, tse ding di. Thank you, mme. Tse ding ba mo file le dipidisi tse di expire-rileng. Tseba medication wa hao o bone hore aman nna ke nwa reader ka mare e ngwetswe reader ka mare e change le khala o tsebe ha e expire-rile bo mmagere hore a se yona ene no ska tshaba ka clinicing o bue le bo nurse hore nurse a se pidisi e tshwanang le ele ne ke eno a o hlalosetse maybe hore ba changeile brand a ke re ba change ba ya ho Mansadi ba ya ho Mingi ba ye ho Tembi ba change di brand jwalo ba batla tse cheap akere bomme ke a leboha ke letsatsi la rona ka tjeko a re phutulloheng. Thank you.
Greetings to our Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, and the House at large. My name is Khomotso Khotso. I'm from Palm Springs, Sedibeng District. So today, I will be speaking of the challenges that we experience in the clinic, especially when we have bomme. Ke rona re tsamayang clinic haholo ho feta batho ba bo ntate. So, e bohlokwa haholo ne ene e nkutlwisa bohloko ke ya pap smear, ne? Whenever we are clinicing, we do pap smear, we test for pap smear, but the results are ditli kapa di nka nako ho tla. And when I do ka tlung ha o tsebe hore o etsahalang. Ene hangata o ya clinicing o etsa pap smear, e tlo o na le bothata vele o utlwa hore there's something wrong and I need to go check. So ho bohlokwa hore re tsebe hantle ntlo re meka. Ha o ya clinicing ba o jwetsa hore kopa o etsa hape test e nngwe kapa di results ha di so fihle. And then engwe hape ke ya privacy ne ho di clinic tsa rona. Ona lo thola hore ha o kena clinicing security you botsa hore o tlo etsang, which is not right. Ha se right ya hae hore o botsa hore o tlo etsang. Ha e batle yena. What if ke tlo etsa termination of pregnancy? Ha e batle yena. So ona le right ya mo jwetsa hore entate ha o re kapa mme ha e taba ya hao. Nna ke tlile clinicing so etsa mosebetsi wa hao. And then engwe hape ke hore municipality is also a key factor to communities when it comes to people accessing things like ambulances from places like Palm Springs. Di trata tsa rona di dipi haholo. So ha o fonela ambulance ba re ko wena re kopa o eme stop signing kapa main roading re tlo lata mo, which is not fair. What if ke a kula ha ke kgone ho tloa mo ke leng ka hare ke tlo ema stop signing? It's not fair. And hape ke noticed I heard a lot of people ba complain ka hore batho ba pregnant ha ba balati. If o tshwere ke di pain ba o botsa hore situation is jwang tlamele motho a ithole transport. What if I cannot afford or a ke na yona koloi e tlo nkisa mo clinicing? So we have a right to access to ambulances, guys. And then hape engwe ke hore re fola nako telele clinicing. 3 hours is a lot, guys. Hona le di TB, re qina re catcha di TB ko clinicing. Hona le batho ba oleng ba thotse di COVID ka baka la hore ba spendile dinako tse telele ka hara clinic, which is not okay. And then ba kang hape ntho ya hore re spende nako e telele clinicing ke hore staff sa short. We have staff very understaffed. O thola hore nurse ai one tlamela sebetse departmenting tse 3 ali 1, which is a lot. Le bona ba need to rest, you know. And then the other one is infrastructure. Clinic tsa rona di nyane. Clinic ya rona from Palm Springs ena le toilet A1. Toilet A1 e sebetsa ke rona batho ba basadi ke batho ba bontate.
Thank you, Honorable Khotso. Your time is up, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I would now call Honorable M. Maphalala.
Greetings to my chairperson, the speaker, the deputy speaker, and the house at large. Yeah. Standing before you is Mbali Maphalala from Sedibeng campus, an SRC member at the campus. Thank you, colleague Techuya. All right. In addition to what my honorable member just said now, I'll also like to state that our constitution at section 27 states everyone has a right to basic health care and nutrition. So I want to know, Guti, where is my right to health care if my clinic at Arapak was closed for a rehab? I want to know, Guti, where is my right if ever Ukokwa must stand in the lines for 5 hours without not even getting apula from a clinic? They stand there, that ababanagi, abanagwa, bayama, babandule so. And I say, Kondo Guti, abokoko kala, about prioritize. Uzotola mina kala, besu kokule move. I say, Kondo de bupubuntu, ema clinic. All right, I was speaking about my rehab and whatsoever. On that note, a rehab was open, maybe we could see about stop my drugs and whatsoever. But I want to know what's the ratio, your clinic. What's the clinic one, maybe even about the bank, because I clinic, I have my name one location. Because of, in Arapak, one clinic was closed. I want to buy a walk. It's a walking distance to another clinic. And it's so small clinic. So, Spungas was, who's the 7 clinic I 3 or I 4, Melescent and Jan, Messi Benga, attend the clinic. I'm speaking from a church, Kari and a Pegastal, whereby allow a student who could spend some operation bands a young kid to go utogotela that is you know this is right, like bayazenzela bona bayazenzela ake umuntu owazi ukuthi mele abodokotela bebe khona bazobona ukuthi kwenzakalani and the food step, you understand. So the government is failing us. Ama-suggestion boxes akhona ema-clinic wonke umuntu uyabhalela kuwo, but then abawavula bonesi. So asafuna ama-suggestion boxes, we want ama-meetings.
Please wrap up, Honorable Maphalala, your time is up, ma'am. Thank you.
We speak after, thank you.
Okay, I would now call Honorable Sauhadze.
Greetings, Madam Speaker, Deputy Speaker. Right. Okay. Invited guest, Office of the DPL, honorable members in the House and the House at large, observing all protocols of the House. My name is Rosina Sauhadze. I'm from City of Johannesburg. My commission is about role of a woman in the health. We are having issues. My issue is to challenges that we face in our clinics. My clinic is in Pinville Zone 1. My clinic is very far from the police station. It is a worrying factor that you are injured, you go to the clinic, you have to go make a statement, you go to Kliptown. I must get to Kliptown to make a statement. We don't have a police station in the we're requesting a cop shop to be in the clinics where the police station is very far, because incidents do happen in clinics and then the police are very far to be attending to cases. Second factor is the staff at the clinics are no more looking professional. You know, when you went to the clinic before, the nurses would look professional, dress appropriately. Now we don't know who's a nurse, who's a patient, because they're dressing casually, not professional at all. And the third factor is the lack of policy adoption from Parliament. We do have policies that are spoken about in all legislations, but lack of implementations. And also, there's no time frame that this must be done by what time. So we need to have commitment from the government that if we're speaking about this Parliament today, when will it be implemented? And I hear that Manseville Clinic, there's no toilet. One of the colleagues was saying their clinic is in a very disgraceful manner. They don't even have toilet. They're using, they don't have flushing toilets. It is a disgrace at this time that the parliament, we've been in democracy for this long, and we still have areas where there's no clinics. And also, too much informal settlements that are being developed in Gauteng. They are overburdening the budget that is allocated for Gauteng. If the informal settlements can be attended to, then maybe our province will be better. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Sauhatse. I would now call Honorable Timihwe.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, and the House at large. I'm Honorable Tebogo Megwe from Sidibeng in Palm Springs. Solutions to our debate on role of women in improving and transformation of the healthcare. I would like to add that the Commission also looked at the solutions to many challenges that are faced by the community, which are caused by lack of accessibility and transformation in health institutions. Firstly, the government should do away with looking at the age when it comes to people being hired at facilities. Women empowerment should be prioritized and give women equal education, like focusing on the needs at the particular time. The treatment and care received at hospitals and clinics should be the same as treatment in private hospitals. As women, we need to ensure that the department can be subjected to transformation policy called White Paper on Batupili Principles, which is an initiative that was launched in 1997 to transform the public service at all levels. We need to make submissions to the Parliament about delaying of the implementation of NHI as it is depriving people access of the primary health care services. We should volunteer at health centers and remind them about Batupili principles. Bomama, lastly, Bomama, basically, please, kuma clinics naseyibhedlela zethu masibuyiseni ama-organization abomama that used to pray kuma clinics ekuseni. Asibuyiseni imkhuleko kuma clinics so that abo-nurse bethu nabo-doctor bethu bazokwazi ukuthi nabo baluleke, because nabo abantu bafana nathi bathwele banezinkinga. So masibuyiseni imikhuleko ema-clinics ethu nakuyibhedlela zethu. Ngiyabonga.
Thank you, Honorable Megwe. I now call for open time and will only allow 4 participants to speak on the debate. Also note that the participants who are on the speaking list will not be allowed to speak during this time. Also, do not forget to mention your name and rule number 77.7. Thank you. Okay, you are noted. You are noted, Mama, at the back there. Yes, you. 3 and 4. Yes, okay. You may take the floor, the first speaker.
Okay. Greetings to the Honorable Speaker and the Honorable Deputy Speaker and the Honorable members in the House at large. Speaking in front of you is Honorable Tabile Kulu from Sadibeng region, standing on the section Rule 77.7 of the Constitution. I'd like to add what Commission 1 has said. When young women or teenagers go for family planning, nurses treat them
with care. Sometimes we are accused of taking contraceptive at a young age. And then there's lack of sanitary towels in clinics. Instead, they offer us with condoms, which is a choice. Having sex is a choice, guys. And in clinics, they need to offer us with pads. Getting to a period is not a choice. It's a thing that happens naturally. So we need pads in our clinics, okay? And then there's a lack of psychological support at clinics for our patients. We need that too. I thank you for the time.
Thank you. May the second speaker take the floor?
I greet you all, Honorable Speaker, Deputy Chairperson, and all honorables. Mina ngicela ukuthi ngithi role engibona ngathi as a woman I would play ekwenzeni healthcare services zethu sibe ngcono. It's that I must make sure ukuthi, because this department, if we community is not involved, you must remember healthcare is for the community. We must teach the community what is a clinic, what yini into etholakala e clinic. And then after a community, once baba ne understanding yokuthi kwenzakalani e clinic, yini ekumele bayisukele ekhaya bayiyele e clinic, then it becomes easy for ukuthi ukwazi ukuthola I health. Then kunama committees that are in a clinic where phuma kwi community. Finally, aqiniswe yithi, aphiwa amandla yithi bomama to make sure ukuthi ema clinic akungcolanga. Ama clinic ethu angcolile. Ama clinic ethu angcole ngaphakathi nangaphandle. Ama cubes lanka asetshenziswayo bathamba test umchamo iqeda ukusetshenziswa umunye umuntu. My role at clinic is to form part of ama committees lanka asema clinic. So a strengthen so that sizokwazi ukuthi senze lezi zinto esifuna ukuthi zenzeke ema clinic. Ngiyabonga.
Okay, will the third speaker take the floor?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Madam Deputy Speaker, and all protocols observed. My name is Nechitanini Katuchero from City of Ekurhuleni, and I stand on Rule 77.7. I want to lay some complaints and also suggestions. Okay, I suggest that clinics should open 24 hours. In that way, it will create job opportunities, day shift and night shift. It will accommodate other people who are doing nursing without jobs. Okay, another thing is that the hygiene matter is a serious matter. Clinics has to be clean and has to be cleaned constantly. Surfaces has to be cleaned constantly. And then I once went to a hospital. Unfortunately, it's not here at Gauteng, but I hope that everyone will relate. Nurses and doctors have problems. When they talk to patients, they forget that they have to be professional. I once went to a hospital to take asthma sprays, and I was complaining about chest pains. The nurse was busy shouting at me. She couldn't listen, okay, give me attention that what am I supposed to do to this patient? And she gave me wrong medication. The other thing is the lack of sprays. Okay, a person who has asthma, how are you supposed to survive without sprays? I was given wrong medication, and it was a problem. I had to be admitted. So I would suggest that the training, nurses has to be trained that they should be professional and forget about the matters. They will deal with them when they go home. I thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Will the next speaker please take the floor?
Good morning, Honorable Speaker, Deputy, and the House in large. O eme mo pele ga lona ke Mavis Manyedi go tlhaga ko West Rand ko Merafong. Ke ema yana ke le mongwe wa otwane ko community ya Merafong ko Khutsong. Ke lela ka rural settlement ya rona ya ko Merafong e leng Rooiport. Ko Rooiport ga gona clinic ko teng, ga gona metsi ko teng, ba tlisetswa metsi ka dikoloi, metsi a tshelwa mo dijojong. Gore health ya bone e mo gare ga mathata because ba lla bosigo le motshegare gore government yone ga e ba tse sentle. Kwa ke tswang ko teng ko Otwane ko extension 5 ko Merafong e sa le ra agelwa clinic ka 2017. Clinic e le nako e ga ise bereki ene di clinic tse re le mo go tsone ke di clinic tse nnyane ga re lekane because setšhaba se namile. So re utlwa botlhoko thata gore e be re le yana re le ko Merafong re sotlhega ka lebaka la clinic e tona go feta di clinic tsotlhe tse di mo lefelong la rona e sa bereke le now. Ga ke itse gore government ya rona e naganang ka maphelo a batho ba Merafong. Ga re itse gore e nagana yang ka maphelo a bana ba rona because o fitlhela e le gore bana ba rona ba kula, ba bangwe ke batsadi ba rona ke bonkgono ga ba kgone go tsamaela kgakala. Mara mo nakong e clinic ya rona e sentse e dutse fela yalo. Ke ne ke kopa gore borapuso ba rona ba eteledipele ba rona tswang lo yeng ko Merafong le go bona clinic ele gore go etsagalang ka yone, le go bona gore clinic ele e tla bereka leng. Re tlile yana e le gore re tlisitswe ke selelo se segolo sa community ya ko Merafong ko extension 5 ba lla batho bale ba le diswa ke clinic e sa leng e dutse. Ga re itse gore a e diretse lefelo le go dulang dinokwane ko lone ka gore mo nakong e go setse go na le batho ba ba dulang ko nageng ba bolaya batho. Amen.
Thank you, Honorable Medupe. Your time is up. Will the last speaker please take the floor? Mekamo le kamo morao, Wadi Breli.
Good morning, Madam Speaker, Deputy Speaker, all protocols observed, the House at large. Solaka Kina Honorable Angelina Ramusime. Kikopa bua ka di clinic. Number 1, kita kala ka filing system. Ufumana hore ha re fihlile ko clinicing. Ha o ba fa card ha o batla o bolela hore ba bone file. Then ke ipotsa hore filing system ya bona at the end of the day ba file jwang mo ileng gore ha ba bone file ya hao. Then ba o etsetsa file e ntšha and then file ele ya khale e tshwere the history ya bophelo ba hao, re kula jwang o kula jwang. And then 2, kita bua ka privacy. Yeah, the patient, all the patients, whether male or female. Incidentally, ki ile ka wa early this year ka March. So ha ke fihla ko clinicing ke ne ke wile soka sefatlhego ke limetse. Ha ke fihla ko clinicing ko number 3 ine ile male nurse. So male nurse wa mputsa mama tshore ke eng ke a mo explainela o re ko nna okay hlubula ke re ko ena mara ha ke feel comfortable ngwanaka gore ke hlubule ke ne ke kopa female nurse instead of antuse o la njampela ko di mare ka re tlo thuta mosebetsi wa ka ke re no ha go ruti mosebetsi wa hao but ke nagana gore ke tokelo ya ka ya hore ke batla a female nurse kapa a male patient a ka batla a male nurse. So in the ili kokhan, but finally bantus. And then ke kopa ho bua ka respect ya both the nurse le the doctor. Ka nako nga o fihlile ko tleliniking, nurse e tla suggest hore mama kapa ntate ke kopa o lo rota ko toilet ke tlo nka ke bone whatever. Nurse e tla be e tshwere moruto tje. Nurse e tla be e tshwere moruto tje a bontsha batho, but go na le dipampiri di sanitary towels. I'm sure ha ka kwala ka sanitary towels. I never re be re bone gore go etsagalang ka mona. So that is why ke re di nurse, both the doctor le di nurse ha ba re hlomphi ka nako e nngwe and ha ba ihlomphi. And then moshimane ke ile ka mmolella ka re ke nahana hore ha o ile wa nka nursing as profession, o ile wa nka oath gore o tla thusa setjhaba sa rantsho. And mosebetsi wa hao ke hore o tshwantse o rate batho, depending hore motho o tla jwang ko wena. But ha tla a le fatshe a le humble, le wena tshwantse to humble yourself. Ka nako e nngwe
Thank you, ma'am, for your comment.
ke kopa hore ka nako e nngwe meriana ha eyo ko tleliniking ya shota, ba tla o bolella hore meriana ha eyo, di-spray tsa asthma ha diyo. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. Okay. Yes. Okay, Honorable Midupe, please reply to the debate and move on to the adoption of the Commission's report.
Thank you, Speaker. In conclusion, the role of women in addressing the issue of accessibility, transformation of healthcare service is very crucial as we are highly consumed of service in the health sector. Just maybe it's a but askera abusang the services le rona bomme. Haholo ki buella mo tabeng ya di ambulance ne. Do you know ambulance bagaetso, it's an emergency vehicle. You can't set 9 months kaofela bathong ba modimo o le pregnant o sa etse di arrangement tsa nako tlo betwang ke di pain. To be honest, it's a cold case. Habaibu, you know why are we saying at the back? You know why are we saying at the back? It's because you don't participate.
Order, please, people. Please.
That's why you're saying at the back, because we don't participate in the clinic in Zarona. And then we don't favor who educate our community arona. But how do you mo kone? But you so thola kanjani uhloli kone?
Umsindo bo mama, please settle down. Umsindo, please.
And do you know when Mekitsoko Oliven Bosch, salary etswa clinic kana kotsele ka bo 1998 ha ithoma one clinic. Harena clinic, harena sepetlele, ha re ya clinicing re ya Lodium kapa re ya Kalafong, ha re ya hospital. Clinic ya teng e understaffed. Kore na kwa ngwe re ka re ba hula maoto bomme. Nna re dutse mole for the whole day ra sheba hore o etsalang wa tla o apere fela o maizise ske ba bona hore o ka re o rometswe. O tla mole o batla o tlo bona hore o etsalang because re thola di complaints tse ngata bon nurse ha ba sebetse bon nurse ba nwa di tie kaofela kana ko iwan bon nurse ba gaetso di a re fitlhela ntho tseo and ha re di rate ha re le committee ya clinic. O thola hore nurse di 11 mo clinicing esefang batho ba 400 a day.
Ke lebo mmedi tupe ke kopa o kwale mama nako ya ha o fedile.
O sefang batho ba doctor o i1 batho ba 40 ha fitla mo mothong wa 40 ha sa monkela le hloho ha sa utlwa le ntwe motho a ibuang.
Thank you mama ra leboa. Thank you.
I thank you. I honorable chairperson.
Kwala mama ke leboa.
I, Honorable Mansadi Ditipe, the
Yeah,
chairperson of Commission on the Role of Women in Transforming Health, for Commissioner report in terms of the Rule 117 reads with the Rule 168, taking into account all contribution made. I thank you, Honorable.
Thank you, ma'am. I now call for a seconder on the adoption of the minutes of the Commission's report. And I now put in the question, all those in favor say yes. Yes. And all those not in favor say no. The yes have it then. Okay, kindly hand the resolution of the Commission's role of women in improving access and transformation of healthcare in Gauteng. I now declare the debate on the role of women in improving access and transformation of the healthcare in Gauteng closed. Will the Secretary please read the second order?
Order number 2, debate on the response to GBV by police, women's safety and effects on trafficking of women and children. I thank you.
I now call on Honorable Flora Tsime, the chairperson of this commission, to present their commission report.
Good morning, Honorable Madam Speaker, as well as you, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and Honorable members and South Africa at large. I am Honorable Flora Tsime from Westland, Mount Zonville, and I'm responding to gender-based violence by police, women safety and effects of trafficking of women and children. Ka utlwa mama a re basadi ba tshwara thipa ko bogaleng. In my topic ke bagolo thipa e re tshwereng ko bogaleng ke yone e re lematsang. Gender-based violence refers to harmful acts directed at an individual based on their gender. It is rooted in gender equality, the abuse of power, and harmful norms. Gender-based violence is a serious violation of human rights and a life-threatening health and protection issues. It is estimated that 1 in 3 women will experience significant increase of women and girls. Gender-based violence is preventable, and Unity is committed to promoting gender equality and human rights and to protect refugees and other persons of consent from GBV. Domestic violence in South Africa has been viewed as a private matter until the last few decades. The South African Medical Council released a study in 1998 saying that one of the 1,394 men interviewed, 50% physical abuse their female partners at their homes. Their prevalence of violence, physical violence, was greater amongst less educated women than those with secondary or higher. South Africa is the most unequal country in the world. It is estimated that there are 3 million of victims through 50 to 100,000 cases are found each year. The University of Johannesburg reports that trafficking occurs at slightly higher grades for girls than boys, with 55.5% of all trafficked people in South Africa being female and 44.5% being male. The statistic says 36.2% of female employed in 2022. There were a total of 1,207 males into management position in the public sector bent only 589 women. Approximately 55.5% to 3 million of the population is living in poverty. Victim empowerment is approach of facilitating access to a range of service for all people who have individual or collectively suffered harm, trauma, and mental loss through violence, crime, natural disaster, human accident, and through social economic condition. Corruption decreased public trust in justice and weakness the capacity of judicial system to graduate the protection of human rights and its effect, the tasks and duties of the judges, prosecutors, lawyers, and the legal professional. The main purpose of the VEC program is to facilitate the establishment and integration of independent or intersectional program and policy for the support, protection, and empowerment of victims of crime and violence. Active citizenship, people getting involved in their local communities and democracy at all levels from township to cities to nationwide. It can be as a small campaign to clear up your street or as big as educating human people about democratic values or skills and participation. The South African School Act 1996, Act 84 of 1996 is aimed at ensuring that all learners have access to education and without discrimination and makes schooling compulsory for children aged 7 to 15 years old age. It provides for two types of schools, namely independent and public school. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Faith Tsime. I now call on Honorable L. Lekhwati.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker. Good morning, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and all protocol observed. My name is Lerato Lekhwati from City of Johannesburg region, and responding to GBV, trafficking of women and children, as well as women safety. South Africa is the highest rated in the world with rape capital, murder capital, and HIV capital. With that stated, I'll be discussing policy, laws, and legislations of South Africa. Here are within the challenges. The J88 is only given to victims who are assaulted physically and doesn't accommodate victims of emotional, verbal, and mental abuse. Police not working with the community to stop drug dealers, trafficking, and GBV. There are ghost houses around Kempton Park which are used for drug smuggling and brothels. Empty buildings in Johannesburg CBDs are used for trafficking of young girls, children, and women, vice versa. Foreign nationals are destroying our country as they enter our country illegally and don't obtain legal documentation, which makes crime rise. The resolutions, the J88, police should be trained well about the impact of GBV for all women to feel freely to open cases. The government should make a transformation on the laws of the anti-apartheid era whereby border gates are tightened so that foreigners enter our country legally so. Soldiers that were deployed during the lockdown should be used to clean up our street and maintain control within our border gates and our country. Those soldiers also go house to house on a regular basis to request documentation ensuring that they are staying in our country legally. The documents should also state the period of time that they are here and the departure time that they should leave the country. Home Affairs should be monitored regularly on issuing of documentation and especially on foreign citizens. Ghost houses in suburb areas to be auctioned and sold legally so without the complications and prolonging of documentations and title deeds. Empty buildings in the CBD, Johannesburg, Pretoria, etc., to be renovated and turned into orphanage homes, shelters, and safety homes for GBV victims. They can also be used for NPOs and NGOs with solid content. Those buildings to be monitored every 3 months to ensure that they are still intact. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Lekwati. I now call on Honorable D. Dennis.
Good morning, Honorable Madam Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and all protocol. I am Honorable Deborah Dennis, and I'm from Ekurhuleni region, and I'm responding to GBV, human trafficking and safety of women and children. I will be discussing active citizenship. As we all know, community members are sometimes accomplices to crime. Also knowing that hurt people hurts people. The challenges that I have today is crime, SAPS, and corruption, domestic violence, unemployment, and discrimination to women. The solutions to the challenges that I have mentioned is we need community workers to work with the SAPS as well as the Community Police Forum. We also need police to stop taking bribes from the perpetrators. We then also need to check up on the shortage of police and the resources to assist us in the different cases that we have. Also, our police, as well as our CPF, we also need to assist them in getting full training to assist the people that are in GBV cases. With domestic violence, we also need to increase brigades in all different wards, as well as an increase of the CPF, which is the Community Police Forum. Traditional leaders can also intervene to assist in various cases. We then come to unemployment. In South Africa, our limit for unemployment is 18 to 35 years. We therefore ask the government if is it possible that they could, with immediate effect, increase our age limit to 55 and maybe older. We also ask the government if they could create recruitment centers and agencies for people that are unemployed, that we could be able to engage with them, and also with these recruitment agencies that they could minimize the deductions for their services from our salaries that we would be earning. Lastly, I will talk about the discrimination of women. With the discrimination of women as community members, we also tend to shame and blame the victims or prescribe harmful gender roles. They can also empower women, collaborate on prevention and intervention, and collectively shape new norms of gender democracy. And I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Dennis. I now call on Honorable Mavuso, P. Mavuso.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, dignitaries, and the House at large. My name is Honorable Pinky Mavuso. I'm from Sebokeng in the CDBM district. I will be addressing poverty and human trafficking in regards to GBV. Poverty and inequality are at the root of human trafficking. We have the following challenges. Places of safety. There's a shortage of places of safety and green doors. 2, VECs. VECs, victim empowerment centers. Victims need to be empowered financially, mentally, even emotionally. Prostitution. Our girls get coerced and forced into prostitution. Their vulnerability is due to poverty. Unemployment. Being unable to support oneself and their family leads to dependency, and this makes these women easy targets for trafficking and prostitution. Skills development. Lack of proper skills and opportunities contribute largely to inequality in South Africa, and poverty because it renders unskilled people unemployable. Solutions, we have a few solutions. Solutions are to prostitution. Since the money that is made out of the sex work does not go to the sex workers, but to the pimps, I suggest that prostitution should be fought harder by the police. 2, unemployment. NPOs and businesses should be subsidized specifically towards women, to hire women in order to improve them because they are able to sustain their families. Skills development. We should offer skills development programs that help generate an income, and a sustainable one at that. Not these 3 months contracts, not these 6 months contract where people get stipends for 1,500. What can you do with 1,500? How do you rule a home with 1,500? VECs, victim empowerment centers. Victims of GBV should be empowered physically, mentally, financially, and academically so that they can stand for themselves. If you are able to stand for yourself, if you can support yourself, you don't need this man who's abusing you. If you can stand for yourself, you don't need to depend on anyone else to give you anything. So we need to be able to be developed so that we are employable, so that we can open businesses, so that we can give us our children skills, so that we can grow and sustain ourselves. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mavuso. I now call on Honorable L. Honoti.
Good day, Honorable Madam Speaker, Deputy Speaker, and all protocol observed. My name is Honorable Lerato Konoti from City of Tshwane region. I will be elaborating the effect of the gender-based violence and human trafficking on our nation's education. According to the section 29.1 of the Constitution, it contains the right to education and the right to further education. Speaking of education, I understand that education is the fundamental to development and growth to our country. I understand that education is the core of development in our country. Therefore, we are having challenges at school. Facilitators sa ko sekolong ba tlohela bana ba bona ba ba bitsa bana, and then when they enter the premises of the school, ba turn bana into women, ba robala le bona. We demand the government to intervene in rebuking those facilitators who practice such act because they are adding fuel into the fire by crippling the generation of this country. Rekopa NFSAS prioritize South African citizens than refugees, and we demand job placement for every graduate, because what's the use of studying and then udule high? There is no use. I myself, Linnaga studies, but ke studies ke le demoralized because there are 80% chances tsa gore ke studies and then ke dule high. What's the use? So re kopa bursary offers tse tshwanang le bo NSFAS ba prioritize the South African citizens. We know how devastating and frustrating gender-based violence and human trafficking is. Bana ba tswa malapeng ba le affected, ba ya dikolong, ba ba more affected by it. Why the facilitators di a etsa ko yona. So re kopa government introduce the free post-trauma counseling ko dikolong so that bana ba be le a healthy learning environment. We demand government ibuse Bible studies. Like khale ne ba rutiwa hore tlhompha mama hao le papa hao so you may live long. Not hore he mme anshapa ke tshabele police station ke muruhile. Like this country is banaba hona yanong, especially our age arena. We are too disrespectful because of we know how the law has our backs. Even modulons are wrong. If I'm wrong, I should be wrong. I should be reprimanded for I am wrong, not to be covered. Can tell you leader to those
Thank you,
gender-based violence and
Honorable
all that.
Konoti. Your time is up, ma'am.
Thank you.
you. Okay, I now call for open time and will only allow 4 participants to speak on the debate. Also note that the participants who were on the speaking list will not be allowed to speak during the open time. Also, do not forget to mention your name and rule number 77.7. Thank you. Noted, ma'am. You'll be the first speaker, and then there's the second speaker, Mama, at the back there. Okay, Mama, you noted. Number 3. Huh? Okay, number 4, Mama. You'll be the last speaker. Thank you. Will the first speaker please take the floor? Okay. Yeah. Huh? Yes, she's the first speaker. Sorry.
Greetings, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable members and South Africans at large. I am Honorable Koketso Kobota from Western Region. I stand on the Act 77.7. Mine is just to add, government must have a proper plan. Government o refa the learnership for new venture, half is for go tlogela yalo. So tshwanetse a plan how go fa skills sa new venture. A register a company ya gago sa ntlha, sa bobedi a go fe di fund. Startup has khone lo patela rent. Then a khone a ntshe di foreigner for the tax shop. Go tsene rona ma South African. A re file startup sa 3 months. Government must hire South Africans on public sectors. We cannot have teachers and nurses that are foreigners, whereas we have nurses in our country. And he must hire people to monitor our judges, prosecute, and professional laws, because those people ke bona ba corrupta molao wa rona. Eliminate of criminalization, poverty. Batho ba ko toronkong ba kgora man ha ba sotlhege. Mmila bona ke mahala nje. So batho ba mo location ba commit crime because of poverty. Ha bana income, ha bana dijo. I provide the basic needs za South Africa. I increase learnership le internship 3 years plus, because once on market, ba batla experience, so nka ka you fetsa school. I thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Will the second member please take the floor?
Greetings, Honorable Speaker, Madam Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and all protocol observed. My name is Honorable Nogukanya Mthembu from City of Ekurhuleni region. Stand upon Rule 77.7. I'd like to add on GBV, human trafficking, safety to women and children. Number one, we request 24/7 to the VEC office, all the police station. Reason, most of the GBV cases occurred during after hours, on night, weekends, and during holidays. That time, ikusuke ngasena muntu laphaya ma officeini lanka wama VECs. So kuba i-challenge nokuthi i-victim ikon i-case yakhe ihambe kahle proper because of akatholanga the relevant person ozoma assista nge-case yakhe GBV. Number two, please add the resources, especially vans, to all our police stations. Reason, when you call the police, they take time to arrive, and their excuse is that there were no vans available. The other thing, even in ama ambulance, now siyacela ukuthi basibisele like Ekurhuleni, sicela ama ambulance wase Ekurhuleni abuye back kwi municipality because of langa wase Gauteng mawafuna awathola athatha isikhathi ukufika ngaso isikhathi even ithatha isikhathi ukufika ne ambulance ithatha isikhathi ukufika. Some cases khona la kumele ukuthi kube khona amaphoyisa kube khona ilontosana i-ambulance ngesikhathi esi-1 makufika i-ambulance amaphoyisa awekho makufika amaphoyisa i-van ayikho kumele uze uthathe last sengikhuluma ngale i-experience engayi-experience last I had ukuthi balibele badlala lento ukuthi silinde i-van makufika i-van i-ambulance ayisekho seyihambile kumele ngize ngithathe i-ambulance ngihambe nayo e-police station sihambe solanda i-van so that sizoze sokhona uku-assista that patient ebeyilaphayana. Number 3, more workshop and awareness program of the green doors to the police and the community. Reason, 90% in Gauteng don't know anything about green doors. Even the honorables here in this house did not have clue about it. It was a first time heard about it. Kule workshop here to le airline. So siyacela ukuthi ama green doors and siyacela ukuthi each and every township ibe ne green door. Each and every township, each and every ward, even 2 brigades at least, so that so was good ama cases where gender-based violence are speed up. I thank you.
Will the third speaker please take the floor?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and House at large. My name is Honorable Mamaki Musikidi from Sidibem Palm Springs. Honorable Speaker, how hubiwa ka tabaya safety? Kia utlo hubiwa ka tabaya safety, but what about the citizens tsarona, bonkgono, belong gore those people ba hlekefetswa? Hona le bonkgono ba dulang ko hae malapeng, bonkgono ba khola pension, and the grandchildren tsa bona ke bona ba ba nkelang ditšhelete tsa bona tsa pension ba sharp, and the poor old woman ha a khone hore a ka tsamaya a police station because o promise hore if you go to the police station or you tell somebody I'm gonna kill you. So I think ke ne ke kopa government a etse something ka bonkgono ba rona gore because of how ka ya ditulong tse ding, let's say I've seen Collins a facility ya bonkgono and kidintlo because of you take your mother go to home mo alo shapua teng. So what's the use nke mme wa mo se ko home? Government have le home e leng gore e ke ya government e hlokomela batsofe ba rona ba sutliwa and ha rena taba le bona. So ne ke kopa gore government must thuse ka batsofe ba rona. And secondly, everywhere in the patrollers. And SAP yare failure because the patrollers had the dibitsa SAP. Ha batle ka nako attend the crime scene. O thola gore the CPF di emetse maponesa hana tlo fihla. Sometimes vene ha iyo. Vene it's not there. Ile ka e vene because the vene so yana kore e tla tlo nka motho o. And at the end of the day, motho ba monka ha ba qeta the very same culprit o tlo mmona tsa mastrateng. For what? So ne re kopa government must strengthen the mapolisa and le tsona di CPF le bona please ra ba kopela ba thole stipend. Ra ba kopela ba thole stipend. I thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Will the last speaker please take the floor?
Thank you, Honorable Chair, Deputy Chairperson, House at Large, Protocol observed. My name is Honorable Mpomadona from Bopilong, Fanabil Park, Sidiben region, from Child Welfare, Fanabil Park. In response to GBV on women's safety, I think we as women also, we need to be accountable in terms of siyavula ama cases where domestic violence or whatever under GBV. Siyawavula ama case, then in the middle of the night when nature favors us in the middle of the night, in the morning siyabuyela, rekhala di case. So it's hard for the police also to work or to help the community, kuma GBV or ukungeta abo mama, kuti ama case wabo ankelwe tlhogong. So le rona re le bomme, let us be accountable to whatever that we are doing for our safety. Masiza kuma VEC. After ukuthi abo mama bahlukumezwe, abo mama abafuna ukuplacewa kuma centers, the place of safety, like Sinebela Maria. Abo mama abafuni ngoba ucabangani ilolipopo yakhe ekhaya. Lena le mabaka amangatele refang ona. So kine ke kopa hore bomme le rona, let us be accountable. Si re thuse maponesa ho etsa hore mosebetsi le bokweta le bontate futhi aba madoda wethu siyawathanda, but we need also hore re etseng be accountable. Number 2, bengcela ukuthi angithi sinabantwana singabo mama. Rena le bana, and those children bayakhula. Umntwana umfana uzoba ubaba, husband to somebody. Let us treat each GBV from the roots. If singaikala lap, because there are too many programs for abo mama namantombazana. Asithi nesi ngabantwana bafana bayakhula, then it's a cycle of GBV. So masiqaleni phansi. And number 3, besicela ukuthi amaphoyisa wethu afundiswe nge-Children's Act. Why ngisho njalo? Makunama cases tsa di rape tsa bana, we don't know what merits they want ukuthi i-case yakho ithathelwe. Yes, ngoba amaphoyisa wethu ku Child Protection Unit, makune case yomntwana like recently, bafuna ukuthi bayayijiga ukuthi lo mntwana agcine athi no besijola, abalaleli umntwana. And futhi mawuza umntwana uthi upresent icase bafuna ukuthi ushake uyenzani ukhala uyenzani. So abanye abantwana.
Thank you, Honorable Madina.
Let me wrap up the last one.
Up, ma'am.
The last one. Ku case ye trafficking, bengizocela ukubona Minister of Safety, because I do have information for this thing here, trafficking. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Member Eftsime, please reply to the debate and move on for the adoption of the Commission's report. You're replying, ma'am, you're not adding more comments. Okay.
Thank you for the input as well as challenges and solutions you came up with. I believe our government has heard our cries and will take them into action and consideration. Also, human trafficking and gender-based violence has late become a cancer in our society, in South Africa and beyond. Hence, as people, we need to restore dignity within our society by shining those immoral and human behavior of forced training of our women. This must come to an end. Ga bo mme ba 1956 ba kgonne go ya parlamenteng ba papile bana ba maburu ba lona ditokolo tsa bone le rona re kgona go tsamaya gape re diphenti le dibra re parlamenteng is enough. I, Honorable Flora Tsime, the chairperson of Commission on Community Safety and Gender-Based Violence, Human Trafficking, hereby move for commission, report in terms of Rule 117, read with Rule 117, taking into action and consideration made. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Tsime. I now call for a seconder on the adoption of the Commission's report. Noted. Okay, I now put on the question.
I, Honorable Pinky Mavuso, second the motion.
Adoption. Okay, thank you, ma'am. I now put in the question. All those in favor of the Commission's report, say yes. Yes. And then all those not in favor, say no. Okay, the yes have it then. The report is adopted. Kindly hand the resolution of the Commissions on the response to GBV by police, women's safety, and the effects of trafficking of women and children. I now declare the debate on the response to GBV by police, women's safety, and the effects of trafficking of women and children closed. Okay, will the Secretary please read the third order?
The third order debate on Township Economic Development Act is government addressing the empowerment and contributing towards mainstream of women in the economy.
Apologies, I will hand over Ditapo now to my Deputy Speaker, Ngubane.
Malibongwe. Debate on Township Economy Development Act is government addressing the empowerment and contribution towards mainstreaming of women in the economy. I now call upon Honorable B. Juku, the chairperson of this commission, to present their commission's report. Honorable Juku.
Deputy Chair, Madam Chair, all protocol observed. I, Bitumelo Joko, the chairperson of debate on Township Economic Development Act in government addressing the empowerment and contribution towards the Ministry of Women in Economy. Bohle re a dumela hore moruo wa rona mona Gauteng o matsohong a bolata. Ba ipeile ka mokgwa wa hore re se ke ra kgona le ho tlhodisana le bona ho tla ho tsa kgwebo. Ebe ntho ena ya hore re se ka kgona ho sebedisana le bona e re fa bothata rona re le baahi ba Afrika Borwa ba mona Gauteng. Haholoholo rona ba phelang ka hona ho rekisa re lantshana le tlhoko ya mosebetsi re lwantshana le bona bofuma bo ka matlong a rona. Re hloleha ka monyetla wa ho bapala hara moruo wa rona makeisheneng. Empa re thabela ho utlwa hore Gauteng Legislature
ina le molao o phasisitseng Act number 2 ka 2022 ya o thusa makeisheneng ka dikgwebo. Molao ona o tlo phahamisa dikgwebo tsa makeisheneng tsa bomme le ho thusa hore ba kgone ho participate hara dikgwebo tseo. Ho fitisa moo moruo wa rona o tlo kgutla hape o tsepame hodima dikgwebo tseo tse re di etsang. E tlo thusa hore le di-mall kapa tsona di-supermarket tse ka hara makeishene di kgone ho sebedisana le rona ha mmoho. Le hore mmuso o tlo kgona ho tla reka ho ona makeisheneng ao a rona ho tle kgwebo ya rona e hole. Hape e thusa hape e tlo re thusa le hore di-market-e tse di kgone hore sebedisana le rona ka ho reka di-product tse ding ho rona. Yona act ena e tlo re ruta le hore re le makgwebo re ka tshwarisana jwang hodima dikgwebo tsa rona ho tle re hole re kgone ho tswela pele ka bophelo. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Juku. I will now call upon Honorable N. Ntweza. Okay. I will now call upon Honorable P. Khadebe.
I would like to take this opportunity by greeting Madam Speaker, Deputy Speaker, the House at large, and protocol observed. I'll be presenting Township Economic Development Act. Objective of the Act is to provide an enable environment for municipality to develop taxi rank into micro-central business district to support taxi economy. By that, inagana hore ba bolela ka hore government e tlo formalize the taxi industry to support the development and promotion of a township-based real estate development model to convert areas with high commercial densities, township high street, promote and support development of representative association township-based enterprises and non-profit organization. More government, e bulela ka di NPO le di NGOs hore like it lo di forma hore ba kgone hore ba promote tsona di NGOs le di NPOs. The Act will create destination of township enterprises zone to ensure a meaningful participation of our people. Mo ba bulela ka di ATTZ hub e le hore basadi ba ipopile mo siting ele ya Sidibeng e le hore ba jala matekwane mo teng, and then ke Mamelodi hub e le hore e etsa dikoloi Ford cars. All operators who meet the requirements will need to register to have a licensing of township-based enterprises. The license must be displayed all the time in the area of work. Uri license information ibulele, like ibulele to everyone because information I flow. There will be opportunities to promote and develop of township-based enterprises by monitoring the operations to ensure compliance of the Act through the funding supply of equipment to run the business. We really want funding. I kgone hore like e thole ke batho, ska thola ke hore mang o tseba mang or mang o bereka le mang. The provincial organs of state will formulate plans and strategies to support the development of township-based enterprises. All Gauteng department kumele basebenze bonke ukuthi kufezeke izifiso zenu bomama nezimfuno zenu. To plan, develop, direct, manage, and implement programs and projects to achieve the plans and strategies. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Khadebe. I will now call upon Honorable El Mavuso.
Zothanda ukubulisa kuwe, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Madam Speaker, and all protocol observed. Igama Lungelo Wagamavuso, and I am responding to the question that is government addressing the empowerment and contributing towards mainstreaming of women in the economy? So this act, that is Act number 2 of 2022, aims to promote and advance the mainstreaming of youth, women, and people with disability in all township-based programs and projects. Approximately 51.1% of the population is female in South Africa, and 47.0% of the South African women were recorded as economically inactive. Gauteng comprises the largest share of the South African population. So when mainstreaming of women is realized, with these margins, it would be an attractive economy to behold. The Act also states that there will be benefits and incentives for township-based enterprises like financial assistance and development of infrastructure, industrial and commercial estates, letting of buildings or premises, capacity building programs, development of markets and provision of marketing services and technology transfer and acquisition. Sorry for that. With agriculture becoming the cornerstone of our economy, and more women are showing interest, this will help us move into the commercialization of our already growing township farms. There is money in commercialization, and if we stand together and hold the government accountable to this law, to this act, then we will see our economy growing to one of the best economies in South Africa, in the world, in fact. There will be the establishment of township enterprise funds, which will reside within the office of the Gauteng Enterprise Propeller. The purpose of the fund is to support the development of township-based enterprises. Monies in the fund must be placed in an account to be used for promotion and development of township-based enterprises. Management of the fund is under the administration and control of the Board of Directors of the Gauteng Economic Propeller, appointed in the terms of the Gauteng Enterprise Propeller, Act 5 of 2005.
Honorable Speaker, wrap up your report, ma'am. Your time is up.
Okay, to wrap up, it is highly important for us to familiarize ourselves with this act and hold the government accountable to all the promises that is made available through this act. Umnotho wethu uzobuyela kithi mesingafunda sifundisane ngalo mthetho lo abasibekele wona. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mavuso. I now call upon K. Dikotsi, Honorable K. Dikotsi.
Angibingelele etafuleni, our Honorable Speaker and our Deputy Speaker. Omelana ukeke kadikotsi wayingathayisa khulumi. All right. Lo khulumayo ukeke ne from City of Johannesburg, Region G, which is under Ward 5. Ngimelana ku Township Economic ne ngijabula kakhulu mangibona imbokodo. Ngibona abomama besizwe, bomme batshwara nthipa ka bohaleng. Bomme bakotho, bomme ba sa thabeng lotho, bomme ba tswa ukhipha ntlo tsa bona in order. Ka hona ke re bomme, ha re dule re tshwere ka bohaleng. Ke utlwile stats sa rona se balwa hore stats sa rona se above bontate. Empa ba ntse ba re kuka limited. Empa ba ntse ba sa recognize. Ke tlotla kena ko township economy ya rona e buang ka rona bomme. E batla rona re stand firm to reach a destination. Rona re le bomme, re kopa government wa rona a minimize document compliance ai batlang. When it comes to land, ke tlo bua ka JPC. Ele yona land mo re tlameileng re thole access ya land ko teng. Re le bomme sorry di victims are rape. O rape wa ka tlong because o sna matla a tšhelete. O rape that rape wena a ba rape le bana. O bone go bana thola ngwana ka because ha re tlo thola plate late. Impa ka hona ke di ga gatelelwa ke government wa rona. Ha re recognize. Ke tlo etsa example ka JPC. O ka ya ko JPC ko Bram Park, Bramfontein. O fitla o kena to that building. O lo request our batho. Ke tle ka address ya open space. We do have our open space. Se ba di bitsa di business places, ne? But how are the officing tseno never ba fe authority or to live in a single land. Mo ke tswang teng ke tswa holane la Poriki. Poriki mo ke tswang teng ha una even a single shop. It's only Pakistan. Sorry, or maybe keep in a different way. It's a Somalians, ne? So it's only those papa shops. They don't direct even the expiry things. Don't expiry lane, right? So in that port, we used to go to that Pramfontein, but just go check go on tender board on which I receive this thing. We don't have even a filling station in Porky, and that's a black in because it's the R28 road. We don't have a filling station. We have to drive to Everton Mall if we run petrol, which is not fair for Porky. We don't have even ATM. If we have 100 rand, you will suffer. You have to drive to Everton. And then you set up guy, nothing. So our government, JMPC, league government, or now minimize the document and the very easy. Who the land, but never honor the business, but who own like one tate. Again, complaints yaruna, government or now when it comes to women in business. Hari buaka bomme bako khwebong bomme ba ya safara including kana ka generalizer again hona le di documented tse to thola hore ke quite on its own it's 1,000 something and funny part you have to pay a tax while how so ka usebetsa at all which is our government wa re ropa o try ho bula business the mini one how will that business government do abuser you have to be a health certificate that health certificate how you don't choose because the Pakistan they don't have.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. So Haribuaga health certificate. It was only the Indians because Barbara Gagari Habana, but registered those things expiring, testing hand, testing health. Maruraka governor don't know what it is. What about
Thank you, Honorable Member Dukotsi. Even though Nonkilwe Kemoya there in Bogota. I now call upon Honorable Ntreza. Are observant time, Honorable Members, please.
Good morning, Chairperson and Deputy Chair. I acknowledge all the presiding speakers and the House at large. My name is Honorable Nomsan Chweza from Pango Camp, Krugersdorp, West Rand. Okay. Ngiyabezwa abomama bakhuluma kahle ngalama implementation ka government nama ex ka government kodwa mina nguNomsantshweza ngithi there will be no changes ne kulezi zinto lezi because there are many challenges esihlangana nawo thina singabomama. So ngithi there will be a problem or challenges of promoting and advancing the mainstreaming of youth, women and persons with disabilities, all township-based enterprise program and project. Reason yokuthi ngisho lo ukuthi mina ngibona ukuthi kuneyinkinga nama challenges is being the government people will eat our money bafethu ngoba bayayidla vele. The same implementing agent and the managers that the cooperative governance hires to run these projects and programs. Yibo abadimali, they run the project and programs. They benefit themselves and their siblings, or only few of us, or only few people benefit from government projects and programs. As for municipalities, yo bafowethu, it's frustrating. The process, example, hey, ingulube zaseKliptown bayazi abahlala eKliptown sibiza Cape Town. Ingulube zithathiwe ngoba abazali bayahlanganisa abafazi ukwenza ibhizinisi. Ngoba ingulube ezala kakhulu, abohlaba baka government bafika bazithatha ama-250 gava ingulube. Due to for unseen reason, bazithathelani banga-aid imali bakhe. Badevelop abafazi. Okay. Okay, and the board of directors will be playing a delay tactics in realizing the funds meant for supporting la mama beingulube and development of township economy. Only if disappearing of documents and government officials taking bribes can stop, and if foreign nationals can stop eating and cooperate in other secret ways in order to gain an advantage over us as women. There is lack of information to market the programs, Bafethu. If the Township Economic Development Act number 2 of 2022 is advertised after, or if they can advertise Lama Township Economic Development Act abakhuluma ngawo, maybe after indaba ngo-7 or ngo-1 or 5:30, so that nathi sokwazi ukuthi siyibone. Ngoba i-advertise ola bona lapho thina ayifiki kithi. And then enye into enzima.
Wrap up, honorable member.
Yes, ma'am, I'm wrapping up. Thank you for the opportunity. Last point. Is sexual harassment. Mamelani. Sexual harassment is another problem. And the US ngoba seyindlulela ebantwaneni bethu kuma FETs kumele bafakwe ema-ofisini bayolalwa ngoba sinamali okubhadala. Government intervene. The law intervene.
Settle down, honorable members. With a show of hands, I'll now call upon for open time. And I will only take 4 participants to speak to the debate. Also note that the participants who are on the speaking list will not be allowed to speak during open time. Also, do not forget to mention your name and the rule 7.7. Thank you. Speaker number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Thank you. Speaker number 1, you may take the floor.
Good afternoon, Honorable Madam Speaker.
Order, honorable members, please, order.
And our Deputy Speaker, and all the protocol observed. I'm Honorable Zintle Keswa from Hittelberg. I would like to add on what our Commission 3 have said. I think our government must invest in women's organizations and businesses because women are less likely to have access to social protections like pensions, unemployment benefits, maternity protection, and equal pay. On average, women earn 60% to 75% of what men make. Our government must ensure that women are equipped to participate in the economy fully. And lastly, our government must give women opportunities to be in power and achieve economic success. I thank you.
A good afternoon, Honorable Deputy Honorable Speaker, and honorable members, and the House at large. My name is Honorable Voice Wasiapi from Citibank. Umbuzo meaning now, which is busy siyawakhomba ama-foreign ukuthi bathengise izinto ezibolile. But are we not the very same people esithenga kubo? Are we not the very same people esibaqashiselayo emajardini wethu? Sithi asibafuni mara bahlala emajardini. Mayifika i-container awujikisi. If we want to ukuthi i-economy yethu ikhule in our townships, we need to start thina ukuthi sizibeke kuqala sisivulele nawethu ama-spaza shops. It's time ukuthi nathi sizibekeni phambili. We've been supporting them. They're not paying tax. Bayafika la bazivulele ezabo ama-manufacturers. So thina supporta bona imali yahamba ibuyela emazweni bawo. So it's high time sizibekeni thina kuqala.
Speaker number 3.
Ngibingelele endlini, ngibingelele Madam Speaker, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and all protocol observed. Mina igama lami nguNokukhanya ngwakaZulu, ngiphuma eLisate. I-concern yami ila ekutheni kulama documents i-government ewafunayo. Kunabantu laba abathengisa estradini, kuthiwa before uyothengisa estradini fanele ube nama documents. Mina mangingwase South Africa ngifika ngizothengisa estradini bafuna ama documents. Kodwa kulabanye abantu kulolunye uhlanga abawafuna ama documents. Kanti le government yethu isebenza kanjani?
Thank you. Speaker number 4, Mama.
Greetings to the Speaker, Honorable Member, and the House at large. My name is Sibo
Wait,
Soto.
Honorable Speaker. I didn't point at you. No, Speaker number 4 is there, ma'am. Sorry, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Greetings to you, Madam, and Madam Speaker, the House at large, and the people of South Africa. My name is Honorable Alina Mokele from Region G, Ward 22 in Soweto. I'm standing on Rule 77.7. Good people, implementation of rules and regulation, including time frame, are the root cause of our failure. While we have good legislation, acts and policies, but politicians, government officials, and our intellectuals, through their modus operandi of justice and judiciary, they lack discipline and monitoring, which leads to unintended consequences. The President and Chief Justice should show their iron fist strategy and tactics to evaluate the performance of those who are in power, to shape values and eradicate corruption completely so. As my honorable member has mentioned, some of these women farmers, they died because of depression. So please, government, take action, take part. Otherwise, we women will take over.
Thank you, honorable speakers. Honorable Member B. Juku, please reply to the debate and move for the adoption of the Commission's report.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Re lla haholo ka matswa ka ntle. Ka mokgwa oo, bolata bo keneng country ya rona bo sena ditokomane tse molaong ha bo kgutlisetswe mafatsheng a bona. Ba nang le ditokomane ba fuwe nako jwalo ka rona mafatsheng a bona re fuwa nako. ho tla dikgwebong tsa bona le tsona ha di kene di registere di kgone ho patala lekgetho jwalo ka rona re patala lekgetho. Ho thusa basadi haholo ka dikgwebo ha ho tliswe dikantoro tsa kgoromente makeisheneng a rona e tla thusang bomme ka dikgwebo le difomo tsa bona tsa ho thusa ka ditjhelete a ke di ngolwe ka maleme a tlo utlwisisang maleme a South Africa kaofela. Ebe kgoromente a sebedisane le motshwari wa masole a kgutlisetse terata mabohong a rona moo ba ikenelang fela masole a ilo sebetsa a tlohele ho dula fela a be matinya. Ha molao wa rona o ne o tile ngwaneso ne re kekebe ra ba hirisetsa metseng ya rona ha ne re na le mesebetsi re sebetsa ne nkeke ra ba hirisetsa ha ne re fuwa monyetla wa dikgwebo ne kekebe ra ba hirisetsa. Seo re se kopang fela ho kgoromente a ka re fe monyetla le rona re ke re bapale dikgwebong tsa lefatshe. Mafatsheng a bona mo ba tswang teng o ka se tlohe mona o ilo qala kgwebo ba ka se o rekisetse le ntlo ya ho dule ba o balla matsatsi le nako ho go tsamayaneng ba be ba khutle ba tlo o checka. Se re se kopang hape kgoromente a re fe dithuto ho tla ho tsa kgwebo ho tle kgwebo tsa rona di tie di be le matla. Re hloka ofisi e tshwanang hantle le NYDA e tlo emelang basadi ho tla dikgwebong ho tla dithutong. Hela mosadi tsoha o iketsetse namane e nyekwa ke mma yona ha o robetse ya hao e tla nyekwa ke mang. Phokotjwe ho phela e diretse. I, Honorable Boitumelo Tshoko, the chairperson on debate of Economy Development Act in Government addressing empowerment and contribution towards the Ministry of Women in Economy in the Rule 177, Rule 168. I present the adoption, the debate. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Bijuku. I now call for a seconder of the Commission's report. Is there a seconder?
I, Honorable Lungelo Mavuso, second the adoption of the Commission report.
Thank you. I now put the question. All those in favor say yes. Yes. All those in favor say no. Not in favor say no. Okay. Kindly hand the resolutions of this Commission. Township Economic Development Act is government addressing empowerment and contributing towards mainstreaming of women in economy. I now declare the debate on the Township Economy Development Act is government addressing the empowerment and contributing towards mainstreaming of women in the economy closed. I now would like to call upon Honorable Faith Mazibuko. Address by MEC, settle down members. Address by MEC of Community Safety on behalf of the Gauteng Executive Honorable Faith Mazibuko.
Malibongwe. Malibongwe. Wathinta abafazi. Wathinta abafazi. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, or Deputy Speaker. Let me acknowledge Speaker, Chair of Chairs, members of Parliament who are women. Hola ma PP, hola. Do you know what is a PP? Yes, man. Can I also acknowledge members who are members from the community in Bogoto that is here amongst us to come and listen to this important debate as part and parcel of the Women's Parliament. We who have breasts and none, we are gathered here today. So far, men are the ones that are attending to us. Ibo abasilethela amanzi, ibo ababuza ukuthi sidingani. If things can be like this 365 days, akamnandi South Africa, ma. Yes, ma. Yes. In fact, Madam Deputy Speaker, it's us as women, we the Eve, yithabo Eva. And to uNkulunkulu wenza uAdam no Eva. Wamthatha lo Adam wambeka laphayana wathi hlala lapha udlelezi ungazidlezi. Safika thina bomkleveni yabo Eva. Sathi Adam, uyibhari wena. Lezi nazo ziyadliwa. All of a sudden was born ukuthi ka uclever lo Adam. Kanti uhlakaniphiswa ubani? Ueva. Phambili ngabo Eva phambili. Madam Deputy Speaker, I won't take long because I've also been listening to the debates, which is quite exciting, and how I wish in our parliament it can be vibrant like this, man. Yeah, man. Singabakeka muslamatot. Muso wa bana rinka umenula. The exciting debates on role of women in improving access and transformation to healthcare, the debate on women safety effects of trafficking of women and children, and the debate on economic development, especially government addressing the empowerment and contributing towards the mainstreaming of economy here in Gauteng. Madam Deputy Speaker, what is exciting is that as the Gauteng provincial government, through our GGT 2030, so far we are the only province that at least 40% of procurement that is being done is actually given to women by all departments across, irrespective what type of work you do. Obviously, as women, we continuously sihlezi ku catering angithi. Yes, but nakhona fanele sidle. Continuously, women are empowered to also start their agricultural land. They are continuously assisted, and through the Gauteng Enterprise Propeller, I'm definitely sure that most of us as women, we can have such opportunities that we are able to access to. 71% of businesses that are owned by women do get support through the Gauteng Enterprise Propeller. Almost about 1,147 women-owned businesses have actually been supported both financially and non-financially. And the balance actually also benefited from the business development support services. And of those who received this financial support, the majority, which is almost 72%, received grants. So not only grant, it means you are able to do your business and proper business. 22% also received informal traders specific grants, and 6% were supported through procurement and loans, each taking up to 3%. So as the Gauteng provincial government, we do try to make sure that women also do have access to financial security and are actually able to be assisted financially. On gender-based violence, millions of women and girls are facing heightened insecurity and violence. And over half of the women of Gauteng have experienced some form of violence, I'm sure most of us were listening to the statistics that were released by Minister in the past Friday. It's shocking. Out of the statistics that were released, almost 10,000 women were raped. Gauteng alone, 5,000 of them were raped in Gauteng. Contact crimes. The contact crime is your sexual offenses, is your assault, GPH. Sometimes common assault. Or nasizizwa madla uri nkawushapa no aritswele kantle. Ibalwa kanjalo na ibala kuma contact crime. Hayi phela nina nabo phuma silo. Nibele hayi aritswele kontle re bo manto akere. Atsamaye ayilo utshwarisa, it becomes a statistics. Contact crimes have also increased in Gauteng. Your car hijacking, majority of cars that have been hijacked were cars that were driven by women. Women were the ones, baba shluta ma purse, baba tatela ma phone, and ultimately do one thing or the other. But majority of some of these statistics is also domestic violence. Domestic violence is violence that happen in your own home. Ukhona bekasho lana athi, nasesijabulile, siyahamba siwa withdraw la case. Nasikhohlisene sekathi no the way ke o ratang ka teng ke tla o rekela aeroplane wena uzozifunela isiporo ukuthi ihamba phi. Or senivumelana ukuthi yazi baba kaMathambo eSopho yazi mina the way ngikuthanda ngakhona. Bengimani ngiya lapha na ngiyokubophisa ngoba wena ufuna ukunginika imali. I don't know how many of you have been listening to this audio that has been doing rounds on social media of a young girl who says wathathwa umama wakhe, they went to a police station to open a case ukuthi ubabakhe umrapile. Ubabakhe was arrested, he's still in prison even today. Bona basutleha, all because ubaba refused to buy a car for the mother. Now, yes, it's viral in most social. Now, as women, let us also not use our daughters to fight our own battles. Now, samfunilo samsonilo, hlukana naye, uyayiqalela enye impilo. I've never gone to any funeral kuthiwa lo esizomngcwaba namhlanje ubulayilwe kitlala. As women, we've got hands. As women, we're able to do things on our own. Yes, even if you are in a marriage, you can be successful and satisfied. So ngaba ne double S. Bese thina ka ba single siba ne triple S. Single, successful and satisfied. Phambili ngathi ma single phambili. All of us, we must put our shoulders to the wheel in the fight against gender-based violence. Ayiqale karuna, let us break the silence. Le ndaba zokuthi umntana naka-rapiwe uthi masikhulumisane. Bakayi baTshwane, hona le siyo huthiwa ke mavuso. BaTshwane bayitseba mavuso. Women are auctioned in shebeens in exchange for money. And then bese uyahamba ke naloyo Mathambo eSopho in the morning nakangasayikhipanga lebenivumelene ngayo, you go to the nearest police station uyombophisa. But because men nabo ngoba magwala bayalisaba ijele bathi asikhulumisana, you end up khulumisana sekuyiwa enkantolo iyo withdraw case. These are the challenges that we're also experiencing as women. But also some young women, but no, we don't want to open cases because we do not want to suffer the fate that we saw of that young women or case yaga Omotoso Eastern Cape, where even the criminal justice system makes you as a victim to be the one that now feel victimized. But faka wena imibuzo ukuthi bekwenzakalani kwangenzakalani. That's why majority of young women do not want to open cases. But I wish to urge all of us. I can see even our parliament. Kancane seyehla ngeminyaka man ngibona mayanga. Viva mayanga, viva. Yes man. So that then as mayanga, let's also educate others. Uguti, once you open a case, do not withdraw the case. Open the case because you want justice. It can't be right. Perpetrators getting away with it. On issues of health, I'm sure most of the people who utilize the healthcare system is women. Indoda is very rare indoda itiye clinic. Bayaya jena se clinic. Yita chichiriza lapha nemabhankeni angithi. it's us who also fall pregnant who utilize these services. So ours is not to keep quiet if there are injustices that are happening within the healthcare system. It's us who must raise our voice. Angeke ngivuke kami ngo-5 a.m. ngithi ngize klinikini. Nina manesi nifike ngo-8 a.m. nifike nisibale 1, 2, 3 iline izokhathala. Nina bonani ukuthi niphuma njani. No, in fact, there's no law that says I must wake up at 5 a.m. to be number 1 on the queue at the clinic. Anytime I want to go to a clinic, I must be able to walk into the clinic and get the services that I want to get. I wish all our members a fantastic Friday. Angifuna ukuba mude, yazi nawe Friday sifuna ukuyikhipha kanje. Ama-savannah azashise yazi ahlezi lapha yana emanzini. So that then Madam Deputy Speaker, besingafuna ukubambezela besisikhulumela ukuthi ama-savannah wethu nama-hunters dry nako konke kusilindile. Danke ngiyabonga.
Huyu Mama Faith, huye. Huyu Mama Faith, huye. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all honorable members for their contributions in the various debates. I would like to invite the Chairperson of Economy, Development, Environment, Agriculture and Rural Development Committee, Honorable Fasia Hassan, to sum up the debates and receive the resolutions.
Malibongwe! Igamalama nkosikazi! I can't do anything in Women's Month without acknowledging women. I must. Madam Speaker, to our honorable members with us today, the MEC, the Deputy Chair, and all those that are in absentia, but most importantly, the women of our community who I was very humbled and lucky to be sitting with there at the back. I really just want to say thank you for you guys being here today, but I also want to say we've heard the debates, we've heard the issues that have been raised. My job today is to receive not just the summary of the debates, but the resolutions. So I'm going to be receiving it. It's going to be physical, but it's also going to be in an electronic form. What we're going to do then is we're going to take it to the Economic Development Portfolio Committee. Our job then is to adopt those resolutions as the Economic Development Portfolio Committee. We're then going to take them directly to the Gauteng Provincial Legislature in a sitting, in a plenary sitting, exactly like you comrades are today. And in fact, we want to invite you as women and as young women as well to join us on the day that we take it to the legislature, because we want the legislature to own these resolutions. It mustn't just be yours, it mustn't just be the committees, it must be for every honorable member, every MEC, the Premier, everybody in that house must own these resolutions. Then what we're going to do is actually find a way, and these are the resolutions here. I've got them, I've received them officially now. I've received them officially. We'll make sure we also clean them up. We'll make them look nice on the letterhead. We're going to make it, look very presentable. But once we take it to the Gauteng Legislature, we're then going to ensure that each of those resolutions, depending on where they belong, we're going to take them to those departments. We've got MEC Mazibuko of Community Safety. All those GBV cases you were mentioning, we're coming to you, MEC, with those resolutions. And we want the department to do something about it. We're going to take the economic development ones and take it to MEC Town. We're going to take all of those issues that you've mentioned and take it to each and every department. So it's not just only the people in the room today who are going to do something about it. And then, very importantly, we have to do feedback. We want to hear back of what the resolution's outcome are. So then what we're going to do is the Portfolio Committee, as the team who organized today, we want to have a feedback session. So it may not be exactly like this sort of setting, but we want the different MECs, we want the Portfolio Committee, want everyone to come and say, on resolution number 1, you said this, what's happening? On resolution number 2, you said that. What's the outcome? And if it's going to take time, tell us how much time. Because we want to actually have implementation from what we said today. It can't just be a talk shop. So that is the process. That's me receiving those resolutions. So we have heard those issues. Also, especially the issues of foreign nationals. It's a big issue. And we're not going to pretend it's not an issue. We're also going to be taking it to national, because that's a big problem in home affairs. We know a lot of fraudulent documentation is moving. It's not something we are going to run away from. We want to tackle it head on. And we want to ensure that South African citizens, in particular, men and women alike, but particularly women like yourselves, are protected not just by the constitutions, but by the state. Because we don't want to be sitting in this situation. And it's not uncommon, I want to be very clear. In all the countries all over the world, especially developed countries, they have laws that protect their citizens. If you are in Germany and you want to run a business, they're not just going to let anybody open up a business. They prioritize their citizens. Even if you go to Dubai, many people don't know this. If you want to open up a business in Dubai, it must be majority owned by a local person. This is normal. This is understanding that you have people in your country and in your community who need to be looked after and who need to be prioritized. And that is the direction that we are moving in. It does not mean we are xenophobic. It does not mean we're Afrophobic. It means that we are understanding the issues of our communities. And it means we're going to take them forward. My last job for today, before I stand between you comrades and lunch, is to say thank you. I must do the vote of thanks. So let me acknowledge everybody, so I make sure all of my protocol is also observed. I must acknowledge the Speaker of the Western Municipality, Councillor Kruger, who was here earlier today. I must acknowledge the Deputy Speaker and the Speaker in her absentia, but also the Chair of Chairs. We must acknowledge the IEC representative who came to speak to you in the earlier part of today. But I must also recognize Honorable Jovicho, who is also a mother to myself in the legislature, the MBC of Community Safety. Thank you very much, Mum Faith, for always listening to you, not just women communities, but taking so seriously the issue of community safety. No matter which community we go to, the MEC is hands-on. She's unafraid, she tackles anybody in the room, and that's the kind of MEC we need for community safety, who is actually fighting for women. We also have all of our various debaters and women in the room who today you rose to the occasion. You didn't just debate, you put yourselves out there, you brought forward the issues from your communities, and we are deeply humbled. That is the truth. We are deeply humbled to have had and to have been able to have heard some of those issues that you mentioned. I must also acknowledge the catering team who's going to be assisting us in a few minutes, the audio-visual team who are always helping us at all of our meetings. Let's also give them a round of applause. They are making sure that we are streamed live all over the province, all over the country. And I really must take a moment to thank the Deputy Chair of Chairs and the team from Legislature who, no matter the occasion, they work day and night, they work tirelessly, they do everything they can to ensure that our communities are heard. So Deputy Chair, if you don't mind, I know you're a very humble person, but if you stand up, we'd like to give you a round of applause. This is the man who makes it happen. And to his team as well. Honorable Speaker, thank you to you. You have run a very dignified House. I think there's a lot we can learn from you. You'll see how Parliament goes on TV. It's a bit of a crisis. I think there's a lot we can learn from yourselves as honorable members and from the Speaker. But with that, I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Fasia Hassan. I would like to further take this opportunity to welcome the Chairperson of Committees, Honorable Sizakele Nkosi Malobane, to give her vote of thanks and closing. Cannot close and vote of thanks. Close. I will Thank you, honorable members. I would like to take the opportunity to hand over to my colleague, Madam Speaker of the House. I thank you.
Okay, participants are kindly requested to proceed to the front of the building for a photo session immediately after the sitting. And then you are also invited to join the GPL for lunch at the prepared place. And that concludes the business for the day. The House is now adjourned. Can you please sit down for the announcement, please?